Record. Okay.
Yes.
Well, hello again, everyone. So we are here today with Studio Line and Lianne Bongers for our Feedback Friday. And Lianne is going to give us a brief presentation of Studio Line so that we can present it to our fellow members of the Biophilic Hub. And she's going to share with us her journey through some projects of biophilic design, in particular referred to the workplace. Lianne, word over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Adil. Yes, okay, well, let me introduce myself. I'm an interior designer for around 25 years or so. First, we had a furniture shop, so I did design homes for people from the shop with the furniture we sold. And in 2004, I started Studio Line, and yeah, I first did a lot of homes, and then all of a sudden I got these questions also for workplaces or restaurants, offices, stuff like that. So then at one point I decided that's what I like most, so I focus only on workplace design. And in, I think, 2017, I was attending a lecture of Oliver Heath. You all know him probably. He's a London-based biophilic designer. And from that moment on, I was really fascinated by biophilia, and I started to learn and read and do courses and everything I could find on the subject, and started to implement the principles of biophilic design in my own projects. So that I've been doing for the last 6 years now. And also last year, I got the idea of starting like a platform, a community for biophilic designers in the Netherlands, because there's nothing like that in Holland, and I think there's a need for it, and so that's what I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, I'm based in the Netherlands. I'm happily married, mother of 3 almost adult children. And I'm going to take you on this trip through 2 of my projects, quite recent projects I did in the Netherlands. Coincidentally, they are both in Breda. That's a city in the south of the Netherlands. And actually one led to the other, because first I designed like this coffee place, and then the people of the second project, they liked it so much, so they asked me to do the other one. So I'm going to show you both.
Okay. So you work mainly in the Netherlands?
Yes, I did some projects in Europe. I did like this Italian in Umbria, like this agriturismo. And I did something in Austria as well. So I had a couple of European projects, but mostly it's in the Netherlands. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first one is called Coffee Lab. And actually for this owner, I designed 7 coffee labs. It started with like this one that was meant to be there for 5 years. They had like this space, and they could rent it for 5 years, and then they knew they had to stop it. So it's a whole idea, another idea of thinking about materials. So yeah, when it's for 5 years, you have like this other mindset. But this first one I think it was, I don't know, 2008 something, that was such a success. So they were like, okay, if this is working out so well, we have to maybe build more of this. So yeah, and that was this one is in Breda, and that was the 6th one. So, and this one is very special because besides the hospitality part, the hospitality part where the coffee shop is, they also wanted to have workplaces. So, and these are workplaces like a co-working, so you can rent an office per hour. And so this is, it's a whole different approach of, you know, when you have like this coffee place, it's all busy and crowded and noisy, and that's okay for a coffee place, but it's not when you want to work, you know. So it's one building, as you can see on the map, but it's there is a space between a door like this, some sound barrier, and in the venue where you can get the coffee, there is like this hard floor, and that's okay. But in the workplaces, we choose to go for a more carpet flooring. So we had to think a lot about acoustics in these workplaces. And what the owner wanted was that we would create a workplace that radiates tranquility, you know. It had to be really quiet, and actually you have to, when you walk from one place to another, then you have to come in this like this oasis of acoustics, you know. And that worked out very well, because that's what you hear from people when they walk through this door. It's like, oh my God, it's a totally different place, but it looks the same, it feels the same, but it's because of acoustics a whole different feeling, and that's very nice. So this is a picture of the front. It's actually in the city, close to the central station, so it's really busy, crowded, but you also have some greenery. And as you can see on the right side, there is even in the window you see a lot of plants already. So that's, yeah, that's what attracts people to come inside. This is the coffee place. On the right you see like the kitchen. There's a lot of wood I used, so all the tabletops and the tops from the bar stools, and also from the kitchen tops, it's all massive wood. And in the middle you see like this big community table, and this is I designed it to be like this big table when you can sit on 4 sides with 3 people. So this is a table where a lot of people come with their laptops and go and sit to work alone. But you have to sit next to someone when it's busy. You have to sit next to someone you don't know. So that's always like, that's why we call it the community table. You connect with people whether you want it or not, because you're so close to each other. And that works out really nice. That's what I get back from the owner. It's like a place where people get in touch with each other, talk to each other, and that's very nice.
So they can, but they are still in the, should I say, in the cafe space, so they can work and talk at the same time.
Yes,
and
yes,
exchange ideas and whatever.
Exactly. That's the idea from here. You can sit with your laptop, whether you don't have to pay for it. You cannot sit there for a whole day and drink one coffee, of course, but you can sit there, and yeah, that's okay. If you order something then on a regular basis, then that's okay. But when you want to go to a more quiet place, then you have to go to the door to the co-working area.
Okay.
And there you pay for the office you rent.
So I just wanted to ask you, what about the flooring? It looks like resin. What is it?
Yeah, it's a cast floor. So it's like this. Yeah, it's not concrete, but it's a sustainable material. It's from the company called Duracryl, and they have like these sustainable cast floors. So that's very nice material, and it works really. You can wipe it off with wet, and it's very yeah, it's very nice floor. But
and I can see a lot of fractals on the wall. Is that a wallpaper you use?
yes, that's a wallpaper with like this kind of botanical print. It's also called jungle something.
Okay.
And yeah, that's we choose that deliberately, of course. To even, there are a lot of plants there in every coffee lab. The plants are everywhere. But to make it even more visible, we choose like this kind of botanical wallpaper for it. Yes.
So just before we pass on to the workplace, what do the owners have they had any comments about looking after the plants? Are these difficult to look after these plants, or what are they?
Yeah, that's a question I get a lot because that is always a big decision to whether you go for real plants, or what you see a lot now in hospitality places is that they choose for fake plants. I'm not a big fan of fake plants, as you can imagine. But sometimes there is no other way, because in some hospitality places it's just too dark for plants to survive, And but here it's all real plants, and you have to make good appointments about how to get them to keep them alive, because when the plants start dying, it's really not good advertising.
No.
So it's a really big thing. So what I always say is, or you make someone responsible inside your company for keeping the plants alive, and preferably someone that really likes to take care of plants, or you sign a contract with a company that does the maintenance for the plants.
Okay.
And that's also very well known in the Netherlands. You can sign it like these contracts, and they come every 2 months, and they take care of your plants. So
but is there a specific, do you have a preference for specific types of plants which are easier or less easy to look after? Would you suggest anything?
Yeah, there's a big difference indeed. What I do, I work together with a plant supplier. And what I do is, already in the sketching phase, I show the places where I want plants. And when we're going further in the project, I always take this plant supplier with me to the project to show them, and they can see how much daylight there is, and how much, plants don't like to be where it's windy, So that are things you have to reckon with,
Yeah.
But it's very specific knowledge, and I like plants a lot, and I I have a lot of plants in my house, but still, it's difficult to know all of this, and that's why I always ask my plant supplier to come
Absolutely.
with the project.
So what I'm gathering from this is we can draw where we would like the plants at a project stage, but immediately after you have to do some kind of survey with the plant supplier, who will then indicate if that is the best place, if it's not a good idea to put it there, or what kind of plants to put in what kind of areas. So bringing on a plant supplier or a landscape artist or landscape architect, whatever you want to call them, at the early stage, at the relatively early stage of the project, is what I am catching from your experience.
And also, I'm a big fan of making plants part of the architecture. It's not like a couple of years ago you saw in offices, like they did like this whole office design, and then in the end, like it was a styling thing. They put some plants in the corner, and I'm like, yeah, but that's a missed opportunity, because when you bring your plants to the front, when you start first designing something, then you make them very important, and you also take your how do you say it, the one you're working for, they will know how important the plants are, and then you take them with this story, So
So green walls are quite important, because we had a chat with some green wall supplier, and they also were saying it is important to come in at quite an early stage in order to, you know, if you want to make it a signature piece, especially.
Yes, exactly. So as you see here, we designed some hanging baskets, hanging on the ceiling, and the plants are in there, and it's quite heavy. So you have to think of solutions before, because not every ceiling can hold so much weight, you know. So these are things you have to consider on forehand if you want to do something like this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, for the rest, I can tell you that on the left side there is like this wall, and we used mineral paints on there, and also there's a cork, like this kind of paneling. So we used cork, and they point things in it also for decoration.
Okay.
So
and was that for decoration or for acoustic purposes?
Both. Yes, it's a combination. Yeah. And then I'll take you to the next one. Then we go to the workplaces. And you see here, we used tiles of Interface on the floor.
Okay. So for who doesn't know, Interface is a well-known brand, and they are totally sustainable. In fact, they use fishing nets. I am a big fan of Interface.
Yes, some of their collections are made of fish nets, indeed, and this one isn't, but a part of the collection they make is also CO2 positive. So yeah, that's really cool. And this is called the Human Nature Collection. So it's like this it looks like it's a forest path, for example.
Okay.
They really have connection to nature in the designs. You can see the ceiling here. That's one of the important things for acoustics. I always mostly apply in hospitality places. This is like this cellulose, and you have to do that before anything else, and they come and spray paint it on the ceiling. And yeah,
so it's the first thing they do.
Yes, because it's really it's a mess. When they're gone, it's everywhere. But it really works very well for acoustics, and yeah, you can get it in different colors, and you can get it in different one is more porous than the other. So yeah, it's but it's very nice material, and it's also, yeah, it's made of paper, so it's very natural material. Here you can see all these desks with desk chairs as well, and we decided to, because this is like this simple flat wall, and normally it's not very fun looking at this blind wall, so we decided to make a lot of green there. So yeah, that's why they're looking at like this green wall in these workplaces.
Can I just ask you a question about this green wall? I see, I think they are, but are they growing up from these kind of vases, or are they growing from the wall?
No, they're growing, yes.
Ivy, like ivy.
Yes, they are, it's kind of a hanging basket indeed. And they're growing to vertical, like this a metal framework.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one is the silent room. Here, yeah, that's this. When you work here, it's no talking, and this room was kind of dark. So yeah, that's why we made these windows on the top. And all the furniture you see is refurbished. I'm working together with this brand in Eindhoven, where I live, and they buy like these bulk office furniture from offices that are closing down, and then they make it as new again. So they have like a lot of offices and office furniture, and they refurbish it. So this is not, it looks new, but it's not. So.
But so what kind of is it? It's not solid wood then?
It's
refurbished, but it's not solid wood.
No, it's not solid wood. No, it's paneled. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It's made of panels from
refurbished.
Yeah, but the tabletops are made by Unilin. Do you know this?
Unilin,
it's very it's a Belgian brand.
Uh-huh.
They are very sustainable.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there is like this meeting room. And here you see on the left side wooden panels for acoustics also. And behind these wooden panels, there is felt. And this felt is made of PET, so it's a PET felt.
Ah, so recycled plastic.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, and so are the chairs. They are also made of PET bottles, old PET bottles.
And these supplies, I'm sorry, you know, I've got this thing about it. These are made in Holland?
Yes, yes, these are made in Holland, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called, the company is called De Vorm.
Well, you'll send me the details maybe later.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and the tables are made of wood, but the top layer is linoleum.
Ah, yes.
So from Forbo.
And you designed these yourself, these tables, or were they bought off the shelf?
No, they were bought from the shelf. Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's good to know. Yeah. That's good to know.
Yes. Okay. And on the right side, you see like this, you're viewing actually a parking lot, which is not really attractive view. So this picture was taken just when it was finished, but not really finished. So on the left side, there is now like this TV screen inside this, you know. And on the right side, there is, we made like these bamboo plants on the outside, but, you know, to cover the windows. So the parking lot is not inside, you know, you look at green instead of
bricks. You can see outside, you can get the light outside, but you worked on the landscape outside, so it's a nice view.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Because I take it that the parking lot or the space outside still belongs to the same client.
Yes. Yes. Okay. True. Okay. Yeah, but it's not a nice view, you know.
No, I can imagine.
All right. This is another picture. Here you can see the plants maybe a little bit better on the walls.
Yeah.
You know, do you see this frame that's backing the plants up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this picture I love very much because, I mean, who wouldn't like to work here, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So nice.
So can you tell me something about the lighting? Is there anything particular about the lighting which you did, or is it because I noticed that you don't have single lighting on each position, but there is lighting for everyone.
Yes, yes. Here you can see on the ceiling this black rails. Spotlight, yes. And this is a computer organized because it moves throughout the day. It's a circadian light.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. In fact, that's what I wanted to know, because I know we spoke to Foss, we spoke to Vibia, and they were speaking about the possibilities nowadays to have this light which can change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very nice because, yeah, you know, in the afternoon, like especially in the winter times around 4 o'clock, you get this dip, and then when the lights turn a little bit brighter, then you, yeah,
Wake up.
you just feel a little bit better. Yeah, that
Okay.
works really well, actually.
But is it automatic or does it have to be dimmable
No,
manually?
no, it's automatic. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
okay. So it reacts to the light which is in the environment accordingly. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, this is this project actually got me to be a finalist for the European Stephen Kellert Design Awards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was very nice because I was one of the 5 nominees for that with this project. I never ever had done any competition in my whole career, and this was like, okay, let's try. And there were like 107 people joining from 25 countries.
Oh gosh.
So it was a great honor to be one of the 5. And
Exactly.
as you told before, it was the school that won from Orga Architects in the Netherlands. Yeah. And they not only won the European, but also the World Award. So that was very cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I go to the second project. And this is called in Dutch Natuurhuisje, but they also have like this European brand, so that's called Nature House. And it's like, this is an office building, and the company is like this kind of Airbnb company, but only with houses in nature.
Oh.
So yeah, that's really, and they're doing very well, especially during COVID times, because you know, everybody stayed in their own country and wanted to have holidays in
nature. So
yes,
they only
nature.
rent out houses in nature.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, it's very interesting, and yeah, they're doing very well. And as you can see here on the map, on the left side, like this square,
the square part, yes.
Yes, the square part, indeed. That was when their office for a couple of years already. And on the right side, they hired it last year.
Okay, so they expanded the length part.
Exactly, and they asked me to make it to make it look like it's whole. You know, it's one. So yeah, we did a couple of things.
So where's the entrance?
The entrance is at the white part.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, okay. And there's like this yes, this kind of hallway.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and the fun thing about this client was they are actually a tech company, because they you know, they connect people that have a house in nature with people who want to hire a house in nature. You know, that's what they do. They connect people, but they really also want to connect people with nature again. That's their philosophy. And of course, that's mine as well. So that was very nice, because we shared the same philosophy, and they saw my project Coffee Lab, and they were like, yeah, this is so great. We want this, but then in our, you know, in our own way. So
sorry, Lianne, just to interrupt you, because this is something which is very important. When you got approached by the Coffee Lab and then obviously by Nature House, did they already have a clear idea of what biophilic design is and that they wanted it, or were they surprised when you kind of presented it to them?
Yeah, the last. They were with Nature House, they were really surprised. They just you know, they just contacted me because they asked who did the interior with Coffee Lab. And that's what I liked. And then with the first meeting, I start telling them about biophilic design and what I wanted to do with the space. And they were like, oh my God, yes.
Okay.
And that's really
So
fun
this,
because
I asked this question because it always surprises me how people in fact don't know about it. And sometimes people think that there's a kind of a barrier because the client doesn't know about it. But if you get the client on board at the beginning and you explain, it's probably going to make your life a lot easier.
yes, definitely. And also it's when you explain it, it's like people know. There's always this kind of recognition, like, yeah, of course, that's so logical, it's so natural, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was here as well, and they were like, okay, yes, this is what we want. And the fun thing is that when you set like these boundaries, you're pushing each other to go even a step further, you know, because we're like, okay, then we're going to yeah, with the furniture, we try to get them refurbished. And they were like, yeah, and let's not buy anything, let's try to not buy anything new, you know. And we're like, okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So it's very nice that you can enthusiastic get your client enthusiastic about even making more steps in this yeah, on this path.
Direction. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really great. So let me take you to some pictures. This is it's a young company. There are people who are working there from 20 to beginning of their 30s.
Oh.
And they already had like this gaming area, but it was really small. And we're like, yeah, but we like it so much, we want a bigger gaming area. So what we did, there is now where the picture is taken from, there is actually a ping pong table.
Okay.
And what you see, the television is a television, but it's a screen, but they play like a PlayStation.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what they really thought was important. And so what we did was like we connected the cantina to this gaming area, so you get like this free time area, you know. So
Yeah.
where you can eat, where you can play a game, where you can meet each other. The next picture is about this stage that you see in the background. So yeah, that's they really wanted this. So yeah, this was our translation of, you know, having it. It feels like a bit like a wooden cabin, something like that.
Yeah, well, you have these big logs, and I see you have bamboo, and I see you have interface again, carpets.
Actually, this is a very nice story, because you're right saying it is interface, but it's not.
Ah, okay.
But this is a Dutch girl, and her company is called Studio Way. That is WAE. And she makes new carpets of old interface carpets.
Oh, right, okay.
So what you see is like these hexagon shapes, and they are all made of different colors, but combined interface styles.
Okay.
And she's very successful in the Netherlands, and everybody wants her product. And she's really going, yeah, it's insane, but yeah, it's very nice. And you can get it in any color, and you can get it in different shapes. And she also has styles for outdoor, and yeah, it's very.
So wait, how does she get? Are these reused interface tiles? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So again, there's quite a lot of work. It always surprises me in getting hold of the reused stuff, because you've got to collect it.
Yeah, but yeah, when you're doing this like a couple of years already, you meet new suppliers all the time, you know.
Exactly.
We're talking to other people who are also on this path, and you share things together. And
no, but I'm saying, how does she gather the work in gathering the carpets, which have got to be thrown out, is always quite a big job, you know.
Yeah, well, she has like this connection with interface, and they also have, you know, parties of
yes,
rejected carpets with like weaving mistakes or something, color differences or something like that. So she's in direct contact with interface, and yeah,
I see how it works now.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, this is a stage, and you see like these people with their gaming consoles in their hands for the picture. But yeah, this stage was also, they wanted to have a room for, you know, when they had meetings together, like informal meetings, starting the week, someone has to say something, and then they can sit on this on the stage. And I made like these holes in it for the plants to grow right out of the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also in the back you have climbing plants that climb to the ceiling. This one is more the office area with yeah, we made like this wooden structure to get more separation between the teams, because there were different teams working together, but they they couldn't be bothered with each other's noises, you know, so we had to make some compartments there. And yeah, this is some are with moss panels on the side, and some are with cork panels, and some we made like you can write on it directly, so you can make notes directly to the panels. And the fun thing is the plants you see in front, actually they are secondhand plants. I didn't know they exist, but you know, sometimes when an office closes down or moves or something, they don't know what to do with plants, and there's this company that buys like these secondhand plants and sells them again, so that was very fun. Also, the office furniture here is all refurbished.
Excellent.
Yeah. Here you can see like this tiles on the floor on the left side. Those are interface tiles with, they look like a forest path. And this was from one side to another long path to connect both the spaces.
Okay.
The paint you see on the wall is mineral paint, not latex, so it's much better for your health and also for the environment. On the right side you see like this little table, and it's made of wood, of trees that cut down by the municipality of Breda, because they're like ill or they have to go for some reason. And this company buys like these trees and makes all kind of furniture with it. And they every piece of furniture has the name of the tree, the place where it stood, and the year when it got cut. So yeah, that's very nice to, you know, you get like this sense of place, you know, because you know that these trees grown somewhere in the neighborhood. So that's very nice. Then yeah, this is the entrance of the meeting room, and the glass and wood doors you see, we mined them. So they come from a different project. And in the Netherlands, you have like this company that, yeah, that question and demand, they bring it together. So we were like, okay, we're looking for 3 this and this size, how do you say, facades. And we
glass panels.
Yes,
glass panels.
Yes, and we wanted the construction to be wood and the doors glass, and this and this size, and then they're going to look for you.
Okay.
And yeah, and so they came up with 3 almost fitting facades. You see on the top, you see they had to build in an extra piece of wood so it would fit, because the height was not exactly. but that's okay. And that's when you get like this very nice story that you wanted this, you didn't buy it new, you got it from some other project. And yeah, that was very it was a nice process. For me, it was the first time that I actually got some building materials through mining. And it worked out very well. We were very happy with this, and the client as well. You know, they have like this great story to tell the clients, and yeah, it's very cool. And then there is one. This is the meeting room. Also, the furniture is all secondhand or vintage, if you want. The chairs, the chairs around the table were from an other project of mine, and yeah, they didn't want those chairs anymore. So I was like, okay, I'll buy them from you for a nice price. So I bought this from some other client and sold it here again. So yeah, it's a win-win, you know.
And I like the chairs in the corner, this kind of basket chairs. Are these coming from another project as well?
No, actually, we bought this on a second-hand store as well.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, they're nice. What can I tell more? Yeah, there's a cork wall as well, where they can put things on.
Tell me something. Are the windows all openable, or because often sometimes you can't open the windows? So I was just wondering about the airflow.
Yeah, here you can. Yes, in the back you can see two that are openable.
Yeah.
And there is also, you can't see it, but on the left side there's also a balcony, so you can actually
Okay.
open, yeah, that's very important to be able to do that yourself.
Mm.
And then the table, I'm going to tell you because it's in the next page. This is
I like this one. Organoid.
Yes, indeed. This is about the only new thing that is only the tabletop is new. The rest is the legs we found also on this marketplace secondhand. But the tabletop is new, and it's made of organoid indeed. And yeah, it's really cool material. It's directly from nature, and you can touch it, and you can smell it, and you can feel it, and yeah, it's great. It's really.
But it's got a kind of resin on top, hasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So you can. Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's not sensitive for scratches or something. No,
okay.
you can.
So seeing as this is basically a piece of wood, a piece of plywood, and the organoid is a veneer. Am I correct in saying that?
It's a top layer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very nice. They were so happy with this table. It's it's very cool.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
And you had to have it fixed on site.
Sorry?
You had to have it fixed to the table legs on site, or did you have it prepared beforehand?
Yeah, they only delivered the tabletop, and actually I screwed the table, the feet on it myself.
Oh gosh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's super.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's a beautiful table. It's 3 meters long and 90 centimeters wide. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's really such a cool material, and it gives like this space also, like this, yeah, this scent of nature. Yeah, it's beautiful. So this was my presentation, I guess. Yeah.
Perfect. So listen, just a couple of questions. This is quite an impressive this last office. I mean, the first one as well. So, but I just wanted to know, first of all, how long did it take you? And what was their impression when they walked in and they saw this?
How long did it take? Well, they wanted it really fast, and then the owner of the building got into a delay with the construction, and then it couldn't go so fast, and that was a relief for us. Mm-hmm. But I think in 4 or 5 months from the
Okay.
first meeting to the last
Okay.
delivery, and yeah.
Because if you used a lot of recycled or second-hand material, you didn't necessarily have to deal with production time.
True, but there is, you know, when you have the design ready, you make like this estimate of the cost, and we had this budget we had to stick to. And then when we asked all the prices of all the things we came up with, the budget was closed. Then was like, okay, this is going to work. But it always takes some time for a client to decide and to really put this autograph on paper. That's always, you know, it takes more time than you want. And in that time, a lot of stuff we came up with was gone because so that was one thing we learned in this project, that you have to calculate more time for your design, because it's not, you know, the time to look for new stuff is also much longer than in norm. You know, normally then when you order new things, you know, there's a delivery time, 6-8 weeks, something like that, and then you know that what you want is coming. But in this case, yeah, you don't know, it can be gone tomorrow, you know. So it's very difficult. So you have to calculate some extra time to look again for
to do the demo. Of course, it's time is money, so you've got to get paid for it. So I guess that when you present, an important thing also is when you present a project where you are presenting them the use of recycled or reused materials, it's got to be very clear on the contract that it is time sensitive, and that, you know, any extra time, if not signed in time, could result in an extra cost, because otherwise you're going to you know, lose out on the money.
Yeah, and it's not only time, it's also, you cannot guarantee like this project you first suggested is going to be the exact product that's going to be delivered. You know, you have to have a client that's also flexible. Yeah, and yeah, is okay with that. The table you the table, actually that was here as well. We had like these office desks, and they wanted office desks of, I think, 180 by 90, but that was what we had in first instance. But in the second, we couldn't find these anymore, so we could find some of 160/80. So we had to
negotiate.
That was okay, and they were very relaxed with this. But you have to explain this to your customers as well, you know. This
exactly,
it's a process you go into together.
So this was the biggest challenge, you think? I mean, of all the challenges you had on these projects, what do you think, what would you consider was the biggest challenge and takeaway which you learned from this?
Just what we talked about is one, and the other one was with the Coffee Lab project. We designed it before COVID, and then they started crowdfunding, and when they're almost at the end of the term for crowdfunding, then COVID came. And then that was very difficult to get the last money. And then we had to, we were on a very tight budget because of that. And that was a challenge as well. There are a couple of things we thought we first designed that didn't make it to the end. But hey, that's okay, you know. That's.
But you didn't have. This is important to sign. You didn't have any resistance in terms, economic resistance, I mean, in terms of saying you want to present something which is, you know, biophilic, so organic, because you are also recycling. So in terms of the budget, you know, because sometimes I don't want to present it because then they think it's going to be more expensive. Then, for example, the mineral paint is more expensive than the acrylic paint. So, you know, how do you balance this, and do people accept it? That's the question.
Yeah, it's always a question of balancing, you know, because the couch, on the other hand, is much more cheaper than you're buying a new couch, you know. So yeah, it's always yeah,
a question of balancing it out. Some things are cheap and some things are.
Yes, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, I can only say thank you, Lianne.
You're welcome.
It was a super pleasure to have you, and I am sure that anyone watching this replay is going to be delighted. I will leave all your contact information, okay, to the people should they want to reach out to you, which is this, but I will also write it in the presentation. And well, I'll see you in the Biophilic Hub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, we'll see each other there, huh?
Okay, then.
Lovely.
Thank you, Vanessa. Also, do you have any questions, Vanessa, before we leave?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
No, I just wanted to say I found it really fascinating. I absolutely loved everything about both of these projects, from start to finish, with the lighting, the colors, the plants, the flooring, the fractals. Everything was just beautiful. I had never heard of organoid before. I think that's really fascinating. I don't know where you would find something like organoid. Is it made specifically?
Organoid, if I'm not mistaken, is a Swiss company.
Yes.
Is it Swiss? Yes.
Okay.
I don't know any other company who does exactly what they do, to tell you the truth. It is a veneer. I mean, you can order the veneer and then have it applied to wherever you know you're putting it.
They also have like this how do you say it, wallpaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. But the other thing that I wanted to ask you, because I think it actually is part of biophilic design, is in the coffee lab, was it also very healthy in terms of what was offered? Like the vegetables, were they all very
organic,
healthy
the
vegetables?
Food. Yes,
organic.
Good question.
Yeah, good question indeed. Yeah, yes, they are really into healthy food. They have a lot of offerings, vegetarian and vegan. So yeah, that's really part of the whole concept. Yeah, I'm very glad with that. Also, yeah, and the fun thing is also, I didn't say it, but the first coffee lab we designed was like a little bit biophilic because of the plants. And every other coffee lab I designed is more and more and more biophilic elements in it. So that for me was very fun to implement even more. So
develop with them. So they obviously came along with your concept.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And were there a lot of natural scents in the coffee lab and the nature house?
A natural sense.
Yes.
Like
you
smells.
mean smell?
Yeah, I didn't put this in deliberately, apart from the organoid table that really does smell. But you know, yeah, in coffee lab there's always the smell of coffee. Of course, they burn it and they you know, use fresh beans, of course. Nature house, not so much. No, I don't think so. Not deliberately, no. But it's something I do suggest with clients, you know, because yeah, smell does a lot with also with your brain, and it's very yeah, it is important. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm really
great.
glad I listened. I'm really glad I listened to it, because I think just listening to it without really having, or just listening to a recording, is not quite the same thing as being there and feeling it as well. So I'm glad I was able to attend.
Perfect. We're glad to see you here, Vanessa.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you both for joining us.
Yes. Have a good
Bye.
weekend.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.